live. What's going on, guys? Sorry, I'm running a little bit late tonight. I wanted to go over something particular that I only mentioned a little bit before, and that was beginners starting their portfolios. We're going to go over a little bit of that later on tonight. If you have never had a portfolio before, tonight, I'm going to go over what an ideal version of your portfolio should look like, and we're going to go over the types of coin that you might want to have in your portfolio. Now, this is not going to be on the stock side. This is going to be a good way for low risk, low reward on the crypto side. Now, I know we don't go over stocks too often here, but we will be doing more stock stuff soon enough. For now, of course, we've been doing a lot of our crypto stuff. We'll be continuing that. But I wanted to go over what my version and the way I would, because I've seen things taught, and my version of what would be like the safest type of portfolio for somebody new. There's me. There's me. Say hi to me. You guys know the deal. Give me a second. I'm gonna post up me being online live. Conquering Crypto is my channel. That's my site. That's my spot. That's my place. And what I'm gonna do is I am going to share my linky link, and then I will get to discussion. And boy, do we have some stuff to go over, man. Boy, do we have some things to discuss. All right, let's get you over here. All right, and then let me just share this guy one more time, and then I will get to you fine boys and girls, and we can have some fun. We can talk about our coin. Why is that still coming through? You shouldn't be coming through. All right, great. Okay, guys. So let's do this. How are we? Friday night. My name is DeMarco. This is Conquering Crypto. We have a Facebook. That is our primary form of chat right now, and our Discord, our Facebook and our Discord together. Please join us on either. We also have a Twitter. My Twitter right now, DeMarco_Danny. We have a TikTok, Conquering Crypto. We have a Venmo, also Conquering Crypto. If you want to tip us, there is my man Denny. What up, Denny? He is a favorite and a regular at this point on the show. What's going on, my Den Master 5000? Yeah, we got some stuff to go over tonight, man. So we were gonna go over. Dude, I found this coin earlier, and I don't know what happened to it. It was called LN. Now I don't know if anybody else wants to do a little bit of research for me, but just LN. I saw it on the crypto bubbles, and it had something like 40-50%, and I don't know what happened to it, but I can't find it. I also can't find a chart for it. Whatever. LN. I don't know what that is. I tried to find it. Maybe I was looking at the wrong thing. But instead of LN tonight, we're going to go over Phantom, FTM, which is a sweet, sweet coin that I really enjoy. I also own. And yeah, I'm really excited about Phantom. All right. So anyway, let us start the show. Jacob, what's up, man? Oh, maybe it was a rug pull? Dude, seriously. So I'm like, hey guys, I need to write a fun show tonight. Let me see what would be fun and interesting for my advanced and fun viewers. And I saw LN, and just, I don't know, man, maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Maybe LN. 2 letters. You don't usually see 2 letters. Whatever. If y'all find it, I'm going to look for it myself later. LN. And it was like 40-50%. I'm like, I'm going to talk about this later, and I can't find it. All right. Anyway, here we go. Game on. So first things first, we are going to go over Phantom FTM. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to just kind of set up the chart. But boy, what a week it has been. I've got at least two of my guys in the room, right? So I at least have two guys. I have Denny and Jacob. And I can guarantee you that every Conquering Crypto member this last couple days looked at their accounts and went, W T F F F F F. Now, why is that? Well, BTC had some damage done to it. It fell quite a bit. We're going to go over BTC in a bit. I've got BTC marked down as one of the things we're just going to need to take a look at. But basically, it fell a full 7 to 10%. Within that time, BTC, remember, BTC is the master. BTC controls everything. BTC is God tier when it comes to coin. And the bottom line is, it took everything else with it. And Denny says that was 100% me. Dude, it was me too. I think at one point, you're down 5, 6, 7,000. And you just got to realize that even though the market isn't in your favor, you don't have to sell to take a loss. And a lot of people, I don't think, understand that. That's something else I'm going to explain when I do portfolios tonight, because tonight we're going to do a little bit of portfolio control. All right, because a lot of people just want to buy a coin. They don't know what to do with it exactly. They don't know when to sell. So we're going to go over what I would consider a portfolio control more for noobs. This might not be for all of my Conquering Crypto members, especially because I have some advanced dudes that really know what they're doing. But I'm going to do a little bit of basic, a little bit of advanced, and together, we'll come to a happy medium. Yeah, so it all bounces back. Jacob, you are correct. And Denny, I had to get rid of my Saitama. But I should mention this, and I think we talked about this last time. I got rid of my Saitama because my margins took such a hit that I needed to sell something. So Saitama, sorry, you're on the chopping block. You're where I needed you to be. So I winded up selling it for like 400 and putting that into my margins, because if my margins hit, I would have gotten liquidated. I hit something like 85% at 98% or something. You get liquidated. And I was like, F that, dog. So I sold my Saitama, and I'm like, okay, Saitama, you gotta go. I don't even care how much I've lost or gained. Actually, I made money. So I know Saitama's hurt now, and that's something actually that we're going to talk about later when we go over portfolio control, because even though my man Denny, he loves that, Saitama would be considered a high-risk coin. So would Baby Dog. So would Safe Moon. So would Shibin Dog. These are high-risk coins. BTT you can throw into that mix. The bottom line is there's going to be different things we talk about later, because portfolio control is actually a big deal. And I don't think a lot of people realize that. But we're going to go over that later. Okay, so let's go over some coin. Phantom, FTM. All right, let's check it out. So Phantom, Jacob's saying Floki absolutely would be incorporated in that high risk. And you know what? Just because you mentioned that, I'm actually going to write that down, because that's another one. Now, I do have a friend that did make out pretty good on Floki, but again, it's a risk. Floki is a risk. It's part of the, I want to say, shitcoin kind of level, and that's just the way it is. There's nothing wrong with that, but new users have to understand when you're walking into trying to develop your skills as a trader investor. If you're just going to throw your money at bullshit coins, you are going to fail. Don't argue with me. There's no argument to be had. If you are only going to get crap coins, you're going to receive crap in return. There are gems out there. You ain't going to find them if that's all you're doing is buying crap coins, because there's just too many. There's over like 10,000 coin. You're not going to be the lucky one, okay? So we're going to talk about how you can profit and still get some poopy coins. You get a poopy coin. You get a poopy coin. You get a poopy coin. Let me be Oprah and toss out poop coins. You, poop coin. Okay, anyway. FTM, I really like right now. Now, guys, this is something that I have personally. I really like the way Phantom is looking. And another reason we're going over Phantom right now, boys, is that we are bouncing off the bottom support line of the broadening wedge that we have on FTM. So I don't remember if it was FTM that I made a post about, but you see this area right here? We're going to move this actually. So what happens, as I'm sure at least some of you guys know, and I've been trying to teach technical analysis more and more lately, but what happens is we're trying to gauge a bounce. Okay, so as we're tracking our coin, right? So this is in scalping, but you can use the same method on a bigger scale. This scale we're using on right now is the 6 hour. What we want to see, there's a line above and a line below. This can be turned into a tunnel. This can be turned into a triangle. Doesn't matter. What we want to see is we want to see a bounce between both lines. Okay, that is going to happen. And when that happens, we then know that we have an area to track. Do you see what's going on right now with FTM? Look. So we started to make our lines with FTM. We also have a tracking chart on the inside, right? But the idea is do you see how we're bouncing in here? We're also bouncing, but this way we're bouncing in an actual pattern, okay? So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay? Simple. We take the top and bottom of our bouncing type pattern and we put our trend lines around it. And guess what? You can now chart it like you would this. And what we want is we want to see this. We want to see a breakout from that pattern so that we can then chart the pattern. So you could either place an order down low, you can place an order up high. The fact of the matter is you guys can place orders wherever you feel they're necessary, wherever you feel like you have the most control over your security. FTM is one of these securities. My point being, you could place an order. You see this bounce? Okay. The bounce means you can place an order because what is it? What are we trying to do? Buy low, sell high. Well, if you ask yourself what is going on with Phantom right now, this was a high right here. You see that? Now we're going lower, but we bounced off a support line. I don't know if you understand what that means, but if we bounce off a support line, that means if you see this happen, you can place an order here and just hold on tight because more than likely or not, this is going to try to bounce off of this top resistance area. That's the way it works, guys. And I'm just trying to give you an idea of what I'm seeing so that when you're out there and you're doing your own due diligence and you're trying to figure out what coin is going to be the next 10,000 shit coin, okay, so that you can make crazy money. Well, you can make money doing this too. You can profit this way. And this is my favorite way to look at for securities all day is I try to find these bouncing patterns because they're beneficial to us, especially to scalpers. These are big moves. If I go down to the hour, we can even see the bounce even more. This would have been, I mean, it's not a tweezer bottom here, but you can kind of get an idea. You've got 1, 2, 3 touches on the support line. And once you get this confirmation candle, candles tell a story. You want to learn about candles as much as possible. Candles are telling you something and you have to figure that out. This would have been confirmation to buy and you'd be up right now. Okay. I'm up on my FTM. I bought more on this bounce and you can guess that I'm going to be doing it again in the future too. If it gets up to the top, I might sell, I might hold. We're going to have to see what happens. But the point is we are at a low. That's FTM. So now let's talk about the elephant in the room, BTC. We're not going to spend a lot of time with BTC because that's something that a lot of my members know. I've been going over all week for them. You should be a Conquering Crypto member at this point if you're coming in to watch the shows or whatever. You should already have an idea during the week at what is strong, what is not. I have people hit me up all day long, all week. That's great. That's fine by me. I want that. I like the interaction. But with BTC right now, what's happening is it did break out of its consolidation tunnel. Do we see this? So we're not going to discuss this one, but what I feared is that we could be seeing a repeat of that. So far, we're okay. But again, and I said this before, I'll say it again, I do not trust BTC right now. Nope. I do not trust BTC even a little bit. And that's okay. If I want to have, if I had my own personal fear to greed index, my fear, it would definitely be on the fear side. Because, and still it would be on the fear side. I don't care how much everything is green. We've had a week in some, let's see, what was it? Like from the 10th to the 17th, a week solid where BTC was weak and the entire market took a massive dump. Okay. And everybody looked at their bags, and I got 100 messages that were saying, I don't know what to do. I'm down thousands of dollars. You're not down thousands of dollars. Your securities are just low for the time being. Okay. If we have a strong security like Bitcoin, like Ethereum, we have nothing to worry about. It's going to come back because something like Bitcoin is low risk. That's what the market follows. Things will pick back up eventually. Now, I said weeks, and it already has bounced all the way almost up to 59K. Okay, I didn't expect that, but that's where we are. That's the reality. So Bitcoin, good seeing you. That's Bitcoin. We'll be going over it more in Conquer Crypto. Another coin I want to go over is ENJ. ENJ, I haven't even brought up in a bit. I used to have it up here. All right, let's chart some ENJ. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add it to my list. I thought I already had it up, but check this bad boy out, man. Right now, I already see it. I see a solid tunnel. All right, I see a solid tunnel. We're on the 6 hour. Let's go out to the day. Let's move things around a little bit, as we always ask. And by we, I mean me. Yeah, we're going to just stick with the 6 hour. Now, I wish I could actually have you guys interact with me, because I would ask you, where is the pattern here? What is going on? You can't, but I'm sure a lot of you are actually getting it. I really like how everybody seems to be understanding. We have a tunnel pattern here. And I'm actually going to go out further. Let's go 8. I'm just going to stick with the day. That's fine. So here's where we are. Now, I'm a little... Yeah, so we have a parallel tunnel. What we want to see with the parallel tunnel is just like an FTM, we were at the bottom. Let's take a look. We're at the top now. If we break through this, we're outside of the pattern. It's time to chart something new. If we come back inside the pattern, that's called a fake out. We let it continue back inside of this consolidation tunnel. This could be considered a consolidation tunnel. It's really not the reality. The reality is this kind of pattern, the way this is definitely a nice support resistant balance. I don't know if I'd call this consolidation because there's just too much pump, too much dump. So if we broke out of this pattern, in other words, if we went above 4, things would be different. We'd be out of the pattern. What can we do to trade this kind of pattern, especially if we're scalping? Well, you could see if it bounces up here off resistance, right? So if we bounce off here a little bit and we start to break a little bit lower, little bit lower, little bit lower, little bit lower, and we then want it to come back down to the bottom. And then what's nice about that is when we see the bounce off the bottom, that's when we place another little order to go long. If you know how to do KuCoin futures to place a short, you're fine. You place a short up here and you'd make money from the price descending. That's not the case. Most people don't know how to do that. So with ENJ, looks like we're at the top of a tunnel pattern, but I like the way it's looking. The reason we're looking at it is because it has increased almost 200% in a couple days, I believe. A week and a half, almost 200%. Not too shabby. ENJ. Other one I want to go over tonight, EGLD. All right. That's not too bad looking. Now, this is the Binance version. It came out September of last year, so actually 2 years ago. What do we have? Uptrend, downtrend. I'm sure I'm sure you guys can already see it. We are on a massive uptrend right now on both. Actually, we've got a couple things going on. So we not only have a regular macro uptrend, but we have a secondary uptrend. So we're going to actually make this a dash line. So we have two uptrends going on right now. If it breaks the secondary, we can form new patterns, but right now you could buy, and so long as it doesn't break that, it's going to continue. EGLD so far looks fantastic. Looks like it's going to continue. Right now it's at 343. Bad boy's looking good. We're going to go over SOL, SOL. SOL is one of those coin that is, supposedly going to be a monster years from now. It's going to take ADA's crown and wear it. That's the speculation, but SOL is doing very well. Look how close I came to my prediction. Look at this. We got up to 260 and my prediction's at 264. What are you going to do? That doesn't count. So I got to wait until it happens. And I do think it will happen. But right now, we did break out of kind of this triangle pattern with SOL. That's not a huge deal. What we'll do, let's go out a little bit. What we'll do is let's check out a new chart actually on. So this is a fresh chart. Of course, it's already been charted a little bit. Like, apparently, I can never find clean charts. I chart things so often on so many different levels. Whenever I go to find a clean one, it's not clean. This isn't that bad. So here we go. We've got a long tail. This is going to be our primary. We do like our other one, our EGLD. This is going to be our secondary uptrend. This is going to be our primary. So we can calculate with both. SOL is looking fantastic. 220. I think it was just had an all-time high. 254. SOL, you're looking great. I hope you keep going. Next, LRC, loop ring. Loop ring was something I was watching for a while. We had a member mention it to us, and loop ring is kicking butt. All right, so loop ring actually broadened its pattern. So I got really close to hitting this. Look at this. Did I hit it? Oh my God, look at that. Wait a second. When is this? That says November 11th. Hold on a second. I might have hit my loop ring prediction. Where is it? All right, my loop ring prediction I did yesterday, and so that doesn't count. So no. So I'm good. I didn't get it yet. I've got my loop ring prediction at 3.8. On the 11th, it got to 3.7. I'm actually going to change this. So I am changing the projection to. So I'm going to have to change this date. You can see how I do this live now. Okay, so the 19th, if you can see it, right? I'm going to change this to the 19th. Loop ring is currently at 2.69. So 2.69 is what we write in here. And I believe that we're going to see 3.67. That's it. You just got to watch a live prediction. It's that simple. Denny, enjoy one for me, please. Enjoy multiple for me. Thank you very much. So there you go. That was a live prediction. You guys got to see how I do it, how I mess with things a little bit. I know that wasn't too involved, but at least you got to see I move my alarm lower, or if it was a short, higher, but I move my alarm lower. And basically, if the alarm goes off before it gets there, I know to track it as it's getting higher. So there you go, LRC. I want to go over now a big part. We're going to check out MRX, one of my favorite coins. As everybody knows, that's my baby coin. So it was supposed to release today on Bitmart. This is why we're going to do portfolio control. I was going to have this big thing to do and say MRX is doing XYZ on Bitmart. And well, the problem is something happened with Bitmart. And so I guess it's still, even right now, it's not released yet. So just bear with me. Metrics price, first of all, 007 right now. And we're just going to take a peek at it on DigiFinex. And then we're not going to have too long of a show tonight. But what I'm going to do, what we're going to do is we're going to go over portfolio control. I really wanted to go over some MRX, but the problem is it's not on TradingView. It's not easy for me to do, but it has raised in the last couple hours because of the release. I guess the release is getting a little bit sloppy, but if you guys want to look at MRX, check it out. So it's had a nice rise recently. MRXb pretty much follows MRX. So, yeah. Let's see what the boys are saying. Ethereum name service, ENS coin. Know anything on it? ENS? No, I don't even think I've heard of that. How about this? ENS, I'll give that a look-see, and then we're going to go over the portfolio control. And I want to do that for advanced and newer guys. ENS, let's check it out. Jacob says let's check out ENS. ENS USDT. So it looks pretty new to me. Yeah, it looks really new. Where did you buy it on? Did you get it on like Coinbase or something like that? $46. Yeah, it seems new. November 10th, that's really new. See, this kind of thing, when you ask to chart it, we can't get a hold on that. When it's usually a month or two old, it's kind of impossible to get a hold on it. But there you go. ENS, I don't know anything about it. Coinbase just released it. There you go. Let's see if they've got the Coinbase chart up. All right, there we go. Okay. So this could be something in the future. If we were going to chart it real quick, which I figure why not? We've got it in front of us. This is so rudimentary, but we can just go top, bottom, and we've got a descending tunnel. I don't know. That's about it. It's not enough info. This can be something, Jacob, if you want to keep your eye on ENS, this can be something we check out in the future. Since it's on Ethereum, it's a name worth thinking by. Beats me, man. I've never heard of it, so this is something we're going to have to put in the old watch list to check out. This could maybe be something that we check out in the future. I also want to go over SHIB. We'll go over SHIB before we do portfolio control. And we've got a whole bunch of people that just joined me right now. Guys, the video has been going on now for half an hour. So there's already been a lot of recorded stuff. We will go on for a little while longer, but I only had 2 or 3 guys in here the whole time. And now we just went to 6, 7, and then back down 5, 4, and whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue, but we're going to look at SHIB right now. So if you are just joining us, this video is going to be recorded. If you want to check out any of the other stuff earlier, you're more than welcome to check it out. I don't know why I'm going that way. SHIB. So look, SHIB is, all right, listen. Danny, we can look at Saitama real quick. Saitama's being a DIC, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, we'll go over it real quick. All right. So anyway, SHIB. So I wrote a thing today. I wrote a thing up for others on what I think SHIB is going to do. Now, everybody in the room who's interested in SHIB, stay with me for a moment, okay? You're going to learn a little bit of something about technical analysis. I want you to understand. So Jacob, Denny, whomever else is in this room, if you're interested in TA, watch. I want you to see what I see, okay? Let's do this together, all right? Yes, Denny, that's right. SHIB had a breakout. I want to show what's happening right now, what I wrote down earlier, what we want to see, and what we don't want to see. Let's do this together. So first, we're going to come out. So what do we have? Look at all this mess. I know this is a mess. You know what we'll do, guys, just for you? Because I love you so much. We're going to go over a new pattern. So this would be like SHIB, brand new. Here we go. Ready? Now, Denny just mentioned SHIB had a breakout. He's 100% right. First of all, let's chart it. For the first time ever it is fair to say now, whenever I said that SHIB had the descending flat bottom triangle, it was more of a speculative triangle. It wasn't and hadn't fully formed. There, the pieces were there, but it was like the puzzle was there, missing a piece of the puzzle. The flat bottom triangle is now formed, and I mean formed, and that kind of is very interesting because, and I want to say it was more in here. Oh, geez, let me make sure I get it. We're just gonna say that's it. Let me go on the 6 hour. I could probably do it a little bit better. So this isn't exactly what I'm looking for, but we're just going to go off of this. Basically, I finally found the flat bottom triangle on one of my other things that looks way better than this. This isn't here. But you know what? Let's turn on our Heikin-Ashi. So the Heikin-Ashi, by the way, candles are candles that I tried to discuss with you guys another time. Heikin-Ashi lines, you can find them up here, by the way. They take out the chaos of the market. And guys, if you're new, Danny, Jacob, if you haven't used Heikin-Ashi lines, they're awesome. Okay, I've been using them for a long time. I don't like to use them when I'm charting because I want that chaos to be there. But listen, if you guys haven't used them, you've got to try them. Heikin-Ashi line, they're Japanese. We had a breakout. Here's the breakout. Now, what happens in the breakout now is we're hoping to see a reversal. So here in the reversal, we had this breakout. So what does that mean? It means now, instead of, you see how we were going down in this descending triangle? So you see how we've constantly gone down, down. This is called lower low, lower high, or lower high, lower low. Doesn't matter so long as you're heading down. And SHIB has been heading down. So what we're looking for is a point where that doesn't happen anymore. We want to now start developing higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. That means we're officially in a reversal. SHIB isn't there yet, but it's getting there. And now that I've shown you on this mapping, I'm going to take us back to the other mapping to get a better control. See how it's a little bit different. I still have the Heikin-Ashi on, but you see how I have written down that it's a possible reversal? Okay. So this orange line, I wrote this all up on TradingView. What we want is from that breakout, we want to follow now what the orange line is doing. But here is the most important part. There's two huge pieces, and I'm going to tell you guys about them right now. If we fall back into this triangle, we have to reset. So basically, we go from a breakout to a fake out. That's fine, but the problem is we cannot cross this line again. Okay, it's getting to the point where if we cross our trend line, none of this is going to work. SHIB is going to continue to fail. What's nice so far is it's broken out, and now we want to see a bounce off of these two lines. You see this like crevice, this triangle that's pointing down here? We'll make a nice little, we'll make a separate line here so I can really drive home what I'm talking about. We need to bounce off this triangle area. Price cannot fall down here. If price falls down here, it could be another mess. We could be looking at another problem. So if you want to get some gains for SHIB, would you buy now or would you wait? Jacob, excellent question. I'm so glad you asked. Here's the deal. I play, especially when I play something like SHIB, day trading is one of the ways I pay my bills, okay? I can't play risky. I can't play things as if I'm gambling more or less with high risk. This is high risk. That being said, if I had extra money, okay, I do. If I had a bunch of extra money, didn't care, took out X amount of dollars just to put on SHIB to have some fun, okay, instead of going to the casino, I'm playing SHIB. Let's call it that. Is this a good time to buy? Possibly. So this is what I'm going to tell you. If you decide, I'm going to wait. This is the reason. Even if SHIB gets all the way up to here, because we have a whole nother problem with Shiv, and that is the resistance areas. So even if it continues to go up and we hit this resistance, I'm gonna say it's safer to buy, probably. I'm waiting until we hit this resistance area to see a push through, because then I will know we're safe. But if you're trying to squeeze that extra profit, if you want to take the risk, yes, you could buy now. Now, what is price? 48.80 right now. Now look, let's say price goes up a little bit and you're holding like me. You want to wait until it gets around 56 and then bounce around 56. You go, oh, there's candle confirmation there. Buy, take the profit from there. If you want to be more risky and squeeze a little bit more profit, you could buy here. But the reason it's more risky is because you could buy, but it could fall. You see what I'm saying? So that's the choice you have. You get to tell yourself based on what kind of trader you think you are. Do I want to play this more risky? Do I want to play it safer? I have to play it safer because of how I have my own systems. You guys should develop your own systems as well. You want to develop winning systems. My winning system is I wait until I have full candle confirmation, pattern confirmation, every kind of confirmation that imaginable, and then I enter the trade. I would definitely, me personally, I will not enter here because I don't feel like having to deal with it down here. Does that make sense? Because now I don't know what's going to happen. Now, let's say I placed $1,000 order, and now it's all the way down here in 34 because I don't know which way it's gonna go yet. But you could possibly buy right here, and then you've got this little extra. Let's see how much extra you would make on top. You would make an extra 12%. Now, if you have $1,000, that's $120. So do you see what I'm saying? If you have 10 grand, that's $1,200 extra dollars. Every trader has to decide what system works for them. Low risk and lower reward works for me because I like to gauge and see and have as much control over the trade as humanly possible. You could look at this and go, well, I don't care. I have the extra money. I don't care if I lose my 1,000, 10,000, whatever it may be. You could enter the trade now. But if you're asking like, is it a good time? Depends on what you want to do. Do you want to risk it? Yes, this would be the time. If that's really what you want to know. If you want to play risky to get a higher reward, yes. Yes. Now, personally, I would wait a little bit until maybe we fall in this area because I'd be personally curious to see. So let's say I'm playing aggressive. I want to see what's going to happen in here first before I place my order. But is it a good area? Yeah, it is. Because potentially this could be the bottom of our tunnel. Does that make sense to you guys? I'm going to say that again. This could be the bottom to our tunnel. What do I mean by that? Let's go out a little bit. This is the bottom, okay? Remember last time I said we go from triangles to wedges to tunnels. From tunnels to wedges to triangles. So what is this triangle going to possibly do? This is where things get real interesting. Because now, if we get up here, right? So this is, if we're looking at the mapping, this is the high, right? So if we start to bounce down here, okay, now guess what? Now we start to go up this way. Well, guess what pattern we have, boys? We've got a tunnel. And you might have just bought at the bottom of the tunnel. Do you understand? Do you get me now? You could take that trade and you just scalped, but I don't have confirmation yet. But you could place your bet if you want. You could be a betting man and say, I want to put my order here. And dude, this could be the bottom of a tunnel, which is what you want, because then you can ride the uptrend from here and you'd get all that sweet, sweet profit, man. So, excellent question, Jacob. Is this a good place? Man, it's up to who you are as a trader. Just like Denny's saying, too many fake outs already. I could not agree more. That's what I don't want. I don't want to place an order here and the next thing I see is a nice big fall because I don't want to rechart this thing again, man. I'm so sick of. For me, SHIB has been nothing but a pain. I made a bunch off in the early October, and now it's been nothing in November has gone right for SHIB. Okay, this is literally the only thing we've done is develop this massive descending flat bottom triangle. Whatever. Danny, just for you, we're going to go over Saitama. Now, Saitama I already looked at. And after Saitama, we are going to do our... For anybody that's just joined us now, we're going to be doing portfolio control. I know it can be a little bit boring, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to do portfolio control. If you are new, I recommend watching this section. Even if you're not new, it could brush up on some of the fundamentals. We're going to go over that in a minute. Let's take a look at Saitama. Now, I had to sell off my Saitama. Saitama had this whole thing where Denny brought this to us, and we're glad he did. I still made money off of it. Some people did, some people didn't. Saitama, I really had hopes for as one of those 100-time altcoins. Now, it could still be one of those 100-time altcoins. I had to get out. I needed the extra money for my margins trade, so I wanted to move some stuff around. Yes, and we talked about that last night, Jacob. I was going to save some too, and pretty much at the end of the day, I wanted to take the money. I didn't care. I turned it into Litecoin, transferred it, and turned it into margins, so my margin percentage went down lower, so I don't get liquidated, because losing like $8,500 in 2 minutes is not a lot of fun. So let me be one to tell you, I had to take it and put it into my percentages to drop down my liquidation chances. That's what happened to my Saitama, sadly. I sold my baby dog too, and I put those together. They were like my BFFs for a while. I was making money on both, and I did make money on both, just not as much as I wanted. So my baby dog's gone, my Saitama's gone, whatever. So here's what happened with Saitama. Saitama was doing great. It was chugging along, had a really nice percentage. Let's check out this percentage. It was doing fantastic. So it got a couple 1,000%. Look at this bad boy. Look at this. Woo! Saitama was one of those coins. It was looking great. It was looking like it was going to go past the moon, past Mars, past Saturn, all the way to Pluto, even though it's not a planet. Pluto would have been like, yo, bitch, what are you doing out here? And Saitama would have been like, yo, what's up, dog? And then Saitama would have just passed by Pluto and said, peace. But that didn't happen. Apparently, Jupiter said, no, Saitama, you can sit the F down, and it smacked it. So, so the wallet went to be released, okay? And I guess there was an issue. So this is during the time when the wallet was getting released right here, right? And then the wallet got released, something happened, and to me, that's a warning sign. The wallet didn't get released, even though they had some grandiose party in Vegas. And I'm not saying that it's a bad coin, but what I am saying is I am low risk, low reward. If you are new to the crypto space, you should also be low risk, low reward. Do not go hunting for the 1,000 times. You are going to lose money. I'm going to say that again. If you are new to the crypto space, do not go hunting for the 1,000 times, 10 times deck stuff. You will lose money. I promise you. Don't do it. Wait until you're better. Wait until you trade a bunch on Coinbase and Voyager and regular exchanges. Then you can learn. Until then, just don't do it. Not unless you already have an idea of what you're doing. Now, I was going to hold this for a while. It sank, so I could still buy back in now and things will be great. Saitama is definitely something that we're going to keep track of. Not only because Denny is a friend of the show, and he's in my trade chat, and he's in Conquering Crypto, but Saitama is something that we are absolutely going to track for him and for the rest of the group. Because if this turns around or does some flashy stuff, I'm going to let y'all know about it. Okay, so now on this section, I don't care if you're old, new, boy, girl, alien, cat. This is going to be a very specific section. This might be a little bit boring, and you know what? That's just too bad. Sometimes this stuff is boring. Sorry. This is portfolio control, and this is something that we are going to go over today. I know I like to do a lot of just charting, Now, I'm sure you guys have your coin, and I'm sure most of you out there, Jesus, this is gonna blind me. Whatever. I'm sure most of you out there, man, while I'm talking, I'm bringing that down. Most of you guys out there have your portfolios and you don't consider what your portfolio looks like as a whole. Okay. So, like Denny has his Saitama. Okay. Jacob, I can't remember the coin he had. I don't think it was Floki or something like that. But those are high risk coins. If you are new to the crypto space, you do not want to hunt the high risk coins. You can own some. My personal advice, if you're going to own Saitama, if you're going to own Baby Dog, if you're going to own Shib, if you're going to own Safe Moon, if you're going to own Floki, make it a small percent of the rest of your portfolio. You will thank me later. I promise you. So, what do we mean by this? What do I mean by these different portfolio types? So, here's the deal. Here's what we want out of a newer portfolio. All right. I'm just going to leave this up. All right. So, the deal is, I believe, and I've read this many times, that your portfolio, as somebody that's new, should have 3 sections. Basically, a third, a third, a third. And in this scenario, you're going to have $1,000. And by you, I mean me. I'm going to have $1,000 to play with. Okay? Now, the idea is going to be, how can I take this 1,000 and make my money grow, but still play with the high risk stuff? Well, I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you what I would consider to be the best case scenario for you. If you're new, if you're more advanced, you can put more money into the high risk area. But I think if you're just starting, if you are new to crypto, you should be putting as little money into the high risk area as humanly possible. Why is that? Because the high risk stuff, you could just wipe out. Plus, you don't know when to sell. You could make $5,000, and all these guys on Wall Street bets made millions, kept it, lost it. That's how these Dex coin high risk works. Now, some of the boys in the chat right now already know what they're doing. They know when to take profit. If you were asking yourself, well, I don't do this that often, well, then guess what? You should listen, because I got some info for you. So what would be considered low risk? What do you want to make up the majority of your bags? Now, when you're holding something in your portfolio, a lot of crypto and stock folks call these bags. Your low risk stuff is going to be BTC, Ethereum, LTC, DOT, and BNB. Okay? These types of coin would be considered to be the absolute safest way you can go. You're not going to make a ton of money on them, but at the same time, if you wait a year, I can almost guarantee you will profit. You know what I mean? If you buy $1,000, if we took this whole $1,000 and went right into Bitcoin, I guarantee you next year it'd be worth something. 1,200, 1,300, who knows? But the point is that's low risk, low reward. You understand? That's the kind of low risk stuff that I feel like most new cryptocurrency folks should be getting. Feel like the low risk could also be exchange tokens. Yes, absolutely. Jacob brings up a great point. So exchange tokens, most exchanges have their own coin. What was the one we went over? BMX. Bitmart has BMX, for example, BMX dirt bikes. And the other exchange, a new KuCoin, I think has KNS, I think it's called. I own Binance Coin because I run bots, and the more you run bots, the more fees they take out. So I owned a lot of Binance's version of their coin. But Jacob brings up a good point. Exchanges have their own tokens. So we could kind of put that, I wouldn't want to put that in low risk. We're going to put that in medium to high risk. So this can absolutely be exchange tokens, because they're not like this, they're not perfect, but they're safe. So I wouldn't call them low risk, but I would definitely call them lower in the medium risk area. Does that make sense? Now, when we're talking medium risk, this is where you could make up the majority of your portfolio. This is stuff like ADA, Sol, Link, Algo, etc. All right, so again, if you are newer, this is possibly the kind of thing that you want to have in your bags, okay? So you might want to have, let's say I have my 1,000, we're going to go over high risk, but let's say you don't want to play high risk. Let's say you've decided I don't want to do this high risk stuff. I want to do more of the low risk, more like a savings account or an IRA or a 401k, whatever. This is the stuff you should be focused on. If you don't know what you're doing, don't get any high risk stuff at all. Trust me. Just get the low risk and medium risk stuff and purchase one day a week, like I've been telling members for a long time. Purchase the same day every week. On Sunday is when you enter your my $100. Okay, so I would go and I would place my $100 every Sunday. This is it's a tactic. It's a savings tactic for you to grow your bags same day a week, but you're not letting price affect you. So in other words, if it goes down, you don't care. This stuff's important. I know it's not popular. I know it's like a training and boring, but this is the kind of thing that if you have some kind of semblance of control with your portfolio, you'll succeed. You know, conquering crypto is about succeeding. So I know this isn't glamorous, but this is the kind of thing we got to go over. And because MRX isn't where I want it to be, I was going to go over their bit more release. I decided, because I was going to make a separate video, so I decided tonight we're going over portfolio control. Now, what is the high risk stuff? Well, the high risk stuff is actually some of the stuff we've been talking about. Because honestly, the high risk stuff, it's exciting. The high risk stuff is fun. Most guys that are trading right now, and most of the guys in my group, they've already got plenty of the low risk and the medium risk. So that stuff for them is just sitting. Be that as it may, they can then start to trade the higher risk stuff. Does that make sense? Because they're already holding Sol, they're already holding ETC, they already have BNB and DOT. But everything that you see above this line right here, if you are new and you don't want to risk your hard-earned money in any way, go with the medium and low risk only. That should make up the majority of your portfolio, not 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Okay. But if you do want to play around a little bit, these two should be 1/3, 1/3, and then you could bring in your 1/3 to your high risk. Okay. Does that make sense? Because the idea, let's say I've got my $1,000. Let's say I want to do what all you other guys are doing, okay? I want to be a Denny or a Jacob or a Matt or, I want to be somebody that owns this stuff already and goes out and then explores the higher risk stuff because you want to make some profit. Everybody does. Then make sure that you definitely have some of this other stuff in your portfolio first. Because if one of these bad boys decides to tank, which can happen all the time, it might not come back. That's part of the problem. These will. Okay, these guys up here, they will come back. They will be there next year. They will be there in 6 months to help your portfolio look better than it did. That's what I'm trying to show. If you put too much money in high risk, sure, there's always a possibility, just like putting, $100 on Black 13. Black 13 hits and you make a ton of cash, right? Well, that's more of your high risk thing. Okay, you're really aiming at a small area in a big field, and if you don't hit that area, you have such a small percentage of hitting. That's why I don't think the high risk stuff is for most of the newer guys. What happens though is it becomes. Somebody told me that crypto becomes addicting, and it does. It isn't. I treat it as a job, so I treat it very specific. But I know guys that take 10 grand, throw it on one of these baby dogs or whatever, and don't care. Bye. They don't care if they lose it. And now Denny, I don't think he's one of them. I think he's smarter than that. But he did a lot with Saitama. Some of it worked out, some of it didn't. He did well. I know it fell. I don't know if he's down, up, whatever. But that's my point. He can back it up. he doesn't have the issue where he goes, oh no, my Saitama, it's down, I'm ruined. But a lot of people do that. And I'm trying to help you understand that if you're new, you shouldn't do that, because it's not fun to be put your money in high risk stuff and then it disappears. That stinks. So the idea is, if you want to get used to it, you can do that down the road, high risk, okay? But for me, and what I think I want to teach my members first, is to do the low risk and the medium risk stuff first. Guys, we've been here for an hour. I've had a lot of viewers come in and out of the room, and I just want to say thank you. Denny and Jacob, you guys are the shit. Thank you for joining me. This was DeMarco with Conquering Crypto. If you guys want to join us, we, of course, will always be on the Conquering Crypto Facebook page and the Conquering Crypto Discord. I try to post in both, and everything is actually going towards the Discord area. So if you are in the Discord, that is where you want to be. That's the reality. We have a new TikTok. Check it out, Conquering Crypto. You can find me on TradingView, Conquering Crypto. If you want to tip me, I have a Venmo. If you want to toss me a buck for good info, I will take it. Thank you. And what else? We've got, that's probably about it. That's all the good stuff you needed to know. Thank you for joining me. Friday night, Coin Vengeance. We called it Coin Vengeance because there was a bloodbath this week, and something happened today, and everything went green, just like that. And it's so funny sometimes how the market works. I will be running around the channel later on tonight if anybody has any questions or anything like that. And I will be doing MRX metrics in one of the upcoming videos, especially towards the end of the month. And that is because their MRXb was supposed to come out on Bitmart. There was difficulty. I was going to go over that and how you can get it, but apparently it's not running yet. So that's the way she goes. Sometimes some of this stuff happens. With all the nonsense that they dealt with for the last year, this is no big deal at all. They're going to get over this hump, and they'll be fine in no time. So we'll go over that when it happens. I hope everybody enjoyed, or at least got some kind of learning with the portfolio. We went over a bunch of stuff. We went over FTM, ENJ, EGLD, Sol, LRC. We went over metrics. We went over Saitama. We went over a lot. So that's going to do it for me tonight. I hope you guys have an excellent Friday, and we will be doing more of this stuff over the weekend. Peace out, guys. Thank you for joining me.